We've matched. It's the ground team versus the air team. Let's take a look at the anti-ground bases and try and do a mass witch raid for 3 stars. Hi guys, Spencer $20 here. Welcome to today's episode. We have matched LP Ground Pound, have matched LP Aerial Assault. It is the best ground attackers versus the best air attackers, and the ground attackers cannot use any air troops. Air attackers can't use any ground troops. These are the players who are in on the ground team. That's my team, led by Glider, and we have a whole bunch of Town Hall 9s in here, a whole bunch of people from LP3 Chiron. You've probably seen the war videos I've made in there. There are some great war attackers, and we do have some Town Hall 8s in this war. Now I'm not sure what they're going to be able to do. Maybe they should be able to 3-star each of the first attempt, I hope, and then we can see them having a go at some Town Hall 9s and some Town Hall 10s. That would be absolutely brilliant if they could take a star, or at least show us where the traps are a little bit later. There are some familiar names in these attackers here. You've seen some raids by Smiley Miles. You've definitely seen some raids by Shocky over there. She does the Queen Healer raid, and she's actually been 3-starring people with that raid several times. We've got Detrain. He used to make YouTube videos. Not sure if his channel's still up. If it is, check him out. We do have another YouTuber, and we've got Clash on Gan. I'm sure you know his channel. He is in the air team. So is Sarah from Clearly Confused, the leader of the Clearly Confused clans. And who have we got down here? We've got Cop. Big shout out to Cop. He was the person who organised to make sure that we would match up in this clan war. So if you see Cop in Global, give him a big slap on the back, because he really is a great help to all of the LP clans. Where is Gan? Let's take a look. He must be well upgraded. He's all the way at the top, I guess. I wouldn't mind taking him down. Maybe I should attack him. There he is. Let's take a look. Number 3, I'm sure he's picked himself a great base. Now my base at the moment is atrocious. Let's take a look at what I have got. I've got some anti-3s. Nobody is allowed to use an anti-3 in this war at Town Hall 10. Only the Town Hall 9s are going to be allowed to use anti-3. There is my ludicrous base that I was just messing around with in Town Hall 9 war clans. I'm going to fix that in a minute. We'll do that now. But first, let's take a look at their bases. Let's see what they've picked as their anti-ground bases. This is Sir Choda, their number 1. That is definitely an interesting base he's picked there. Would be quite difficult to predict where your troops are going to go. Probably the Queen's going to march around that base. Might be difficult to get the 3-star. Let's look at their bottom. That's Cop 2. I guess that's his mini. Not really a lot you can say about a Town Hall 8 base. Not a lot you can do to prevent yourself from being 3-starred. So let's now take a look at their top 10 anti-ground bases. Let's hope these are the ones they're going to use. You guys can suggest in the comments how you think these bases should be approached. Maybe we will have a go at doing the attack the way you'd like to see it. Let's have a look at Gan's base. Now I've seen that base in Clan Wars many times. I've raided it, and once I got 80% and 1 star, which is terrible. Don't want that to happen again, but it is a possibility to get a 3-star against that, assuming that he does actually use that. What's this Charbizzle is using? That just looks like a bit of a lazy modification to an anti-3-star base, making it non-anti-3. Judhead, the leader! Now look at that. Now nobody tell Judd, but I think you can, well, I know you can earthquake through all 3 of those walls and get to the middle. That is a 3-star potential. I think I'm maybe going to go for that. Might be a good raid for 5 or 6 golems. Quake the way into the middle. That's going to be exciting. Don't tell Judd, I'm coming for him. Let's have a look what we've got here. Smiley Miles, she's picked 2 multis. Not sure that's a good idea. Probably going to be a good idea to keep a single. It's going to be a lot of golems attacking in this war. There's a single and a multi. That's probably the way to go. Harold seems to be paying attention. But again, looks like a lazy modification on an anti-3. Probably an easy 2. This one, Dirk Diggler, that looks like a 7 golem potential to me, possibly a 3-star, but there are quite a few walls still to get through in the middle. Possibly use wall breakers on the outside, and you could use Quake or a jump in the middle. I have to wait and see who tries that. What's this? This looks like a modification on the V base. This is Muniros, and look what he's got there. He's got 2 schnozzles pointing at each other. I wonder if you can actually trap a troop or a minion or something inside there. Very doubtful, but it would be funny if that ever happened. happened. That's base number 9. Finally, base number 10. Let's see what they've picked as anti-ground. Again, that looks to me pretty susceptible to a 7 golem raid. Let me know what you guys think. How would you attack that base to try and get the 3-star? Right now, before I do a practice attack, I've got a plan of how I might be able to get a 3-star against some of those. I need to make my own anti-air base. Now, it's very rare in Clan Wars you are knowing you are only going to be attacked by air troops alone. That almost never happens. We've battled against teams like Air 44 before, but normally they will still use perhaps a golem or at least some wall breakers or some kind of ground troops. That in this war is going to be impossible. They're not allowed to use them. So this is my effort for an anti-air base. Now this is a base which I took from 2014. I've made a few modifications. There are obviously new buildings here. There are air sweepers for a start. But I am kind of hoping that this makes it really difficult for the Royals to get in afterwards and finish off this base. Certainly I'm hoping that I don't get 3-starred. Going to leave them both Infernos on multi against the air troops. I don't know if they're going to be coming with lava loons or maybe they're going to be coming in with a bunch of dragons. Difficult to tell. I think this is definitely classed as an anti-dragon base. Difficult to know which way to point those schnozzles. I'll probably play around with those. And another thing, do we put the Larrys onto air or ground? Do we set them to defend against the Royals when the Royals come in at the end? Or do we set them to fly around and attack the loons? Not sure, haven't decided yet. I'll probably play around with that. Now there is one major problem, guys. I'm now showing my base to the enemy team. They can see everything. I'm not too worried about that. I think it's fairly obvious where these traps are going to be. I don't think it's going to make it any easier for them to 3-star this base, knowing where these traps are. Just remember, everybody's clean players in this clan war, and so this is going to be a really great war. There should be some really epic fails, bearing in mind that a lot of these bases are bases that people won't have attacked for a long, long time, or possibly ever at all. And sometimes it can be really difficult to predict. So that's the base I'm going to use. Let's flick off that before anybody catches out where all of my traps are. Stick them all in. Try and get those air bombs and air mines in just the right place. So I'm thinking probably do a safe golem raid to get our first 2-star, and then on the clear up I think we can probably go after the multi-witch raid, 14 or 15 witches. You've probably seen that in one of my previous videos. There are people out there who are 3-starring with multiple witches. It can be very difficult. If you fail, you can end up with absolutely nothing. If you lose your witches to a big bomb, or if they wander too near to a mortar, you can be game over. So I decided to practice on what I think is similar to their bases. One single Inferno, one multi-Inferno. This was the base I chose. Different troop mix that I normally bring. I probably wouldn't normally use Earthquake. Wanted to try that out. You can see here where this cannon is and this multi-Inferno. You can drop the Quakes in here and that breaks you all the way to the centre. Brought some wall breakers. We can get in from the outside and hopefully funnel all of the witches into this base and see if we can get a 3-star. The key to a 3-star with these witch raids is you need to get the multi-Inferno down as quickly as possible and get all of these splash damage down. So straight in there with the golem, try and get the king and the queen in there and rage through to the multi-Inferno, get rid of that, and then it's time to send everyone and send all of the witches in through those holes we have created. Question is, did this work? Well, let's take a look. I did record this live. I was raiding live, but unfortunately I don't have the video for it. Made a bit of a mess up. Here they go. Here are all the witches, followed by a few wizards. I don't have much firepower, didn't have much space for too many wizards. The multi-Inferno is down, so at this stage it's looking pretty good. Some witches have gone round. That can actually be a really positive thing. Distract the cannons, try and keep your royals alive. Need to keep the royals alive as long as possible. You're not going to 3-star a base like this without your queen living all the way towards the end. And look at this, single Inferno has no chance against these Larrys. Thousands of Larrys, well, maybe 25. Totally overwhelming it, which prevents it from melting our royals. But the queen, she's almost dead. Had to use a special ability. That's far too early. Doesn't look like it's going to be a 3-star, but there are still plenty of witches going. And as long as these mortars don't take them down, and as long as this queen doesn't step into danger, there is still the slight chance maybe of a 3-star. Mortar has finally gone down. Queen's wandering off. She's heading for danger. She's going towards the Tesla and potentially the Expo. There she goes. Crazy queen. She's ruined this raid. We're not going to get 3-stars. Witches are funneling in at the top, but this is not going to be a 3-star. Not a bad attempt though. 65%. Not sure how far it goes. Let's take a look. Finally some archers onto the big bomb. And that's it. Game over. 66%. Not a bad attempt. Maybe I'll practice several more of these tonight, and we can probably have a go at these air guys with multi-witch raids. I think it's possibly the best chance without max heroes to get a 3-star. Otherwise, Glider, I'm sure he can do it with his golems and his P.E.K.K.A.s, but certainly not something I can do with my royals, or at least not very easily. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do like, comment and subscribe, and share these videos with your friends. Don't forget to check out my other videos. I'll be back a little bit later today. The war kicks off in 1 hour. I'll bring you all of the best raids as they happen. But until then, you guys take care. Send everyone!